Welcome to Testosterothon, 28 movies so manly they could punch you in the junk without even moving. Clear and Present Danger is based on the third Jack Ryan book, and I think this one takes place after Red October. Harrison Ford is back again playing Jack Ryan. This time the movie takes him more into politics than previously, which makes sense, as in the novels he would eventually leave the CIA behind and become the president. Near the beginning of the film, the President of the United States is outraged by an attack on a South American drug cartel in which a friend of his dies. He states that the cartels represent a clear and present danger to the United States, thereby giving tacit authorization to basically declare a private, illegal war on them. This is being carried out by a group of Marines led by John Clark, who also becomes a major character in Tom Clancy's novels, and some airstrikes as well. Jack Ryan is unaware of this private war and is doing diplomatic work, unwittingly helping in this. When Ryan discovers what is happening and that his colleagues at the CIA are responsible, as well as the corruption going all the way to the top, he attempts to confront them but winds up painting a target on his back. However, when a senator makes a deal with a local politician, he sells out the Marines in the field, who are mostly killed or captured, and when John Clark is given the task of killing Jack Ryan, he instead teams up with him to rescue his men and bring back proof of the plot. During the first half of the film, and this is a long one, the longest in the series, I felt that it was a step down from the previous two films. It didn't feel as tense or as smart as The Hunt for Red October, and it didn't capture my interest the same way Patriot Games did. But while Patriot Games got a bit redundant and fell apart closer to the end, Clear and Present Danger gets stronger and more interesting, eventually accumulating in the great tension that this series is known for, as well as some pretty cool action. Harrison Ford does my favorite rendition of the character, and this is the film in which he really shines. Basically, the film has a lot of interesting plots, some of which don't seem incredibly important, but eventually they all come together. It's the type of movie that you spend the first half of it wondering if all the detail is really necessary, and then the second half praising the screenplay for its foresight. Out of all the Jack Ryan movies, this is the one that feels the most like a Tom Clancy novel. Though I feel The Hunt for Red October was better, this one is an extremely powerful adaptation that cuts very little and makes only minor edits needed to make it work as a film. The acting is great. Obviously, Harrison Ford is spectacular, but I also really like Willem Dafoe as John Clark. It's a shame he never reprised the role. One thing that I think is done really well is having good action scenes, but never forcing the Jack Ryan character to be a field agent. He remains an analyst who gets stuck in sticky situations, but most of the action he's involved with is either scrambling to survive, or most of the heavy shooting is done by John Clark, which makes sense. Ryan comes off as a guy you really wouldn't want to cross, but not an action star or even a spy, just a very smart, resourceful man who has quick wits. On the machismo meter, I think this one ranks very high. Even the tense stare-downs between politicians work because it's fairly true to life. The doublespeak is just the way it is, and although the characters may not all be honest, the movie itself is honest in the way that it portrays politicians and spies correctly. I'll give it a 7. For the real score, I think this one deserves an 8. It's a step up from Patriot Games and probably my second favorite movie in the series.